Welcome to the next speaker. I know this can be overwhelming at times. Always know that you can grab a copy of the speaker's package and have a library to watch and review anytime you like. Enjoy the next speaker.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Another friend of the summit. You guys are probably getting tired of them. There's about 15 of them on this time. Friends of the summit are people who've been on before that we've built relationships over the years. They're experts in their field or this field of sugar reduction, sugar addiction, sugar elimination. I don't add weight loss, but that's just a byproduct. That's just a byproduct. Jenn Edden, let me give it the formal bio, then Jen will tell you the story. Hold on just a second. So she's certified holistic health coach and sugar addiction expert with only 20 years of experience in the field. Gang. Yeah, it's not named the DSM yet, but believe me, myself and half the people on here have been working with people as sugar addicts for a long time. She's the founder of the Sugar Freedom Method, a program designed to help women break free of sugar cravings, achieve effective weight loss, and revitalize their energy. She's got her own story, and we're going to get that. She's got a bachelor's degree in science and biochemistry, board certified holistic health counselor. It goes on and on. Accomplished author of the book Women Unleashed is a great book. I read it. Wall Street Journal bestseller. So it goes on and on. She's a real deal, gang. She's been on 4 or 5 times before and helping women do this. And Jen, how the hell are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Like, I love it. Yeah, we go way back, you and me.
Yeah, we're the OGs in the space, and there's a lot of us. That now it's cool. Now it's hip, when everybody's got a sugar detox bolted onto their fitness program or bolted onto their weight loss program, but none of them know what the hell they're talking about. They're all just, it's another diet to get them into their program or their shakes and their pills and all that crap. So
Doesn't
anyway,
work.
I'll get off my soapbox. How are you?
I am great. It is so great to be here. I can't say enough about this. I love that it's no sugar reduction, right? It's about quitting, but it's also for those who, right, that freaks them out. You can't have a freak out. It makes you eat more sugar. So I like that we're meeting people where they are. And that's what I do. I meet you where you are.
Yeah,
And then gently get that stuff reduced and out. So
exactly. So tell them your story. Tell them how you got to be Jenn Edden sugar addict and ended up coaching women.
all right,
for a long time. I mean,
because
what
I feel
was
like we have a unique story, right? Maybe everyone says that, but for me, right, at the time of this and where we are, I'm 50 this year and I've got 3 kids. And no, I didn't get any facelifts and all these other things. And I've got, let's do it today. I got my cute little like, I didn't expect to show you all that I'm like in a cute mood today. But why do I say that? Because we get stuck in this, at 50, and I do not knock doctors, but the traditional doctor way is you're going to put on weight and you're going to stop sleeping in perimenopause and sugar and wine and these things. It's just part of aging, right? And what you and I do, I love it as part of the OG is no, it doesn't need to be that way. And to answer your question, I have a history of addiction in my family. I was a sugar addict for decades and mental illness. We'll just add that. Okay. With my father, bipolar, both parents had depression growing up. So I am a candidate for addiction of all types. And then why not sugar? Because it's in everything. And I got very sick. And this happens with a lot of women who come see us, especially in midlife now. The blessing for me was called a blessing. I got sick in my teens and into my 20s, early 20s. And so I was like, can't stop eating the stuff, but I'm not feeling well. And it was a light bulb in 1998, right? We're going way back.
Wow.
And I wasn't well. And so I had to do something. And so it's amazing how God gets your attention. I don't know if I ever told you, but survivor of a near-death gas explosion at 20.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was like, okay, I got to clean my act up. This is a problem. This is an addiction. No one's really talking about it. I got to go pioneer this and fix it. So I got certified as a holistic health coach. I used my background in biochemistry, my brief stint in medical school, which I realized is not my place. And I healed myself Let's go there. This gastritis, these ulcers. I had a hemorrhoidal condition from children, all related to sugar. Anxiety, I had some depression, weight up and down for ladies, men listening, right? 20 pounds up and down. It's annoying. And I love that Mike said it's a byproduct. Yeah, when you stop putting in with no judgment at the level that we are without realizing it, these toxins and these poisons, the body will want to just release, energy, fat from the cells. And so that's how I teach it. And that is my history. I can go on and on. I won't. But I healed myself of many ailments. And now my claim to fame is it's not that I never have it, but it's controlled. When I want it, it's there. It's an occasion. And should chaos and things ensue and it's in too much, it gets pulled back out. The way Mike said, without a diet, without anything, I just follow my protocol. And here we are. And it's a real addiction. So here we are.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I appreciate you telling the story. It's like I said, you've been around a long time, and
Right.
this juncture for me, and I'm sure for you, it becomes pattern recognition. The science is now becoming very clear. Thanks, I think, to the general public, to some of these summits and all the experts. But moreover, there's a new paper that comes out every day. It's insane that now we're here at this place and the general public doesn't know anything about it. Basically, like our folks know, your folks know, the people who watch the summit know, but most people don't know about this. They don't realize they can give the sugar to a baby. Nobody's going to be mad at them. So it's just not of their kind. They all know it's bad for them. But here's the thing, and I want your feedback on this, is what happens in this. I'm sure this happens. We pretty much have the same demographic client, a woman between 40 and 80 or 90. And they just finally say to themselves, it's the sugar. I don't want to use the word stupid like that phrase goes, but it's the sugar. They've tried every diet on the planet. Hell, the name of my book is Last Resort Sugar Detox. We're the last house on the block. They're finally giving up. Their Achilles heel through these diets has been sugar, but they can't stop. They cannot make the transformation to a long-term peace with this stuff, right? Diet, weight, diabetes. It doesn't matter what the world or the sugar basically throws at them. They still can't stop. And I don't know about you, but 20% of the people who call me are crying because they can't stop. They've never told anyone. They think it's like a mystery. Like, I've never heard the story where they're pouring dishwashing liquid on the cake, throwing it in the garbage, and then coming back an hour later and cutting the dishwashing liquid off and eating the cake. Like, they think no one's ever heard that. I've never heard that story before. So let's get right down to brass tacks. How do you help them change that? How do you help them get out?
God, first of all, God bless that you do this work and that I'm here with you. Just God bless, because that used to be some version of me. And I could feel tears like, oh, thank God I have it wired in my DNA now, right? Where that's not the case. But it's a real addiction. And I just want to add, when you're in, because I'm a woman, perimenopause and menopause, and then you add hormonal issues, relationship issues, you add financial stress, you add aging parents, you add children growing up. I was just saying, my son before this, I told Mike, my son had surgery. He's coming home. He's not feeling well today. I'm always working on my relationship, 20-something years. Call it nervous, call it whatever you want, midlife crisis. This stuff is real. And the thing is that sugar is so accessible, socially acceptable. And it's not like with cigarettes, although I still see people smoking cigarettes, no judgment, where it says it's now a known fact, leads to cancer and leads to all these things, right? And lung cancers. The sugar thing is still, but does it? Until they talk to me. But is sugar the reason I'm not sleeping? Is sugar really the reason I can't get the belly fat off? That's not what my trainer says. My trainer says just follow a 2,100 calorie diet. And so I think it's all that misinformation that we're giving out, and there's no judgment, giving ourselves permission to say, I don't really know if it's the sugar. Until they come work with us and I go, give me 90 days Just give me not just trust, blind faith, but you paid, you're in, like hang out with us in this freedom club and just start following some of the procedures, some of the method. And it's not a diet. And I know yours isn't either. What people don't realize is we have more chemicals in our diet. I teach this at schools now. I volunteer at my kids' high school level and middle school level for 3-4 years now. And I teach kids cravings come from chemicals. Chemicals cause cravings. And I go and then I show them all the proof of how in Europe it's different than in the United States and how the same brands of Quaker have more chemicals in the US and how that's linked to obesity rates and higher death rates. And I just show statistics so people can go, oh, it's real what we talk about. And oh, it's related to chemicals. And so to answer your question, the first thing is we got to look at chemicals. We have to, because chemicals cause cravings. And it's just the truth. I know because I've been doing this work 20 years this past year, so 20 and a half years now. And when I get women to go organic, to tweak the gum in their mouth, it's just gum. No, it's not. Read the label on the chemicals. For me, I'll say it, erythritol and the stevia and this monk fruit and for sure cane sugar. Okay. This stuff causes cravings in the women who come see me. So don't tell me, oh, it's just the gum, but you still have cravings at night. They take the gum out. They take out all the protein shakes with the erythritol, the maltitol, the stevia, the monk fruit. I know because my friend was like, you got to try my shake and stuff. And I go, I'll try your stuff. I just had a stomach ache. I want to promote other people's stuff, but it's got to be clean and it's got to be real. And so chemicals is number one. Chemicals cause cravings. Okay. We've been over marketed to that the stuff that they call breakfast bars, it's just gum. It's just, I don't know, protein bar shit. This stuff's not food. I teach that in the schools. This is food. This isn't food. They go, but it says it's ramen noodles. It says it's a breakfast bar. It says it's a little powder you put in your water that's loaded with sucralose. We'll get to that in a second. And I go, but how do you feel? I don't feel well. Okay, take it out. And so the proof is always in the pudding, right? It's never in what we say. I say, just do what we say and then tell me how you feel in 30 days. And then they go, oh my God, my stomach aches went away. My belly fat is coming off. My metabolism is up. I don't have crazy cravings at 3:00. And they go, how could it be? And I said, because you're learning the method and what Mike teaches and everyone else on this summit. And so we're over-chemicalized. That is something that's changed since the 80s. We're over-chemicalized. And it's normal. And it's not normal in my household. So that's number one. Yes?
I love it.
Number one. Number two, we run around a lot. I know my women are super busy. You got a lot to do. You don't want to meal prep. You don't even want to eat half the time because your trainers, and I'm not knocking trainers, but your trainer said this. Someone said intermittent fast that. I'm not knocking any of that. You can intermittent fast. You just got to do it smart. And so you can't intermittent fast and you skip lunch and say blood sugar swinging all day long. Swinging. High, it's low, it's high, it's low. And you know what you're going to crave when your blood sugar swings? You got to get glucose to your brain. You crave something quick because your brain is smart and it doesn't want to die. You're going to crave sugar. And so I can stop there for the moment, but between all the chemicals and this keeping up with the Joneses, I talk about this all the time. Got it. Where are we? If you look at the graphs as a society, we're heavier, we're more depressed, we're anxious, and the technology isn't really doing what they're claiming it is when they sell it to us, okay? It's not actually making our lives better, okay? I'm a fan of the 80s. I was born in 74. I'm an 80s, get on my dirt bike, play a little Atari, but it gets boring because there's only 5 games. And bringing it back to old school. And just those 2 things I said, and that's part of my method, but just those 2 things will change your life. Notice Mike hasn't said it yet, but I didn't say take sugar out, right? I didn't say anything about sugar.
Okay.
My jam is let's dance around the sugar. It's just what I find works because I'm the black sheep in my family. And if you tell me don't do something, I'm like, I'm going to do it. So we don't talk about don't have it. Yes, we want to cut it down for sure. But that approach doesn't work to go right at the problem. And so I work on fixing the issues around it, especially with women in midlife. We've got lots of things going on. And the top two are too many chemicals, body's like, I'm going to store it and I'm going to give you cravings. And number two, we're running around a lot and it's affecting our sleep, which I'll be quiet for a moment, but it's affecting our
Oh,
sleep cycle.
you're doing great. You're doing great. So, two of the things that I study the most in this pursuit is cravings and denial. This kind of denying that this is an issue, right? Or I can just fix it on Monday, or I could stop anytime, or I could whatever. These lies that we tell ourselves. But let's start with cravings. The cravings for sugar. Like, who the hell wants to do this if you're going to continue to crave sugar? Like, if it's annoying you, like it's renting free space in your head and it's always talking to you like, the ice cream's talking to you from the refrigerator. Like, why would you want freedom from this? The hell, your freedom method is the name of your thing. So
It's called the sugar freedom method. Woman unleashed. I'm
Right.
with you. I don't think people believe, and listen, if you're listening right now, God bless you, and you don't feel that way, talk to us. But I don't think people believe, like, it sounds too good. She must be not telling us something. And my jam is, I'm not telling you something. It is almost that easy. No one teaches it this way. It's a healing from the inside. Mike, I know you know this. I'm preaching to the choir. Cravings are an imbalance in the body. It's in all their work. It's in everything. And so I have a day where I'm like, gotta have something, chocolate or cookies. And I don't naturally roll, not naturally that way. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm out of balance. Where am I out of balance? And I start to just take a look at the checklist or where I'm out of balance. You put the imbalance back into balance, the cravings go away. Every time. I know because I'm craving free right now. Well, thank you, God. And I wasn't a week ago. Oh my God.
wait a
And
minute. What do you put back into balance?
oh, so many different pieces. But
Yeah.
so your hormones, let's just go there quick. Your hormones,
Yeah.
not eating enough protein. You're dehydrated. You're not sleeping well. Your marriage, let's just say it. For those who read my stuff, I'm an open book. Your marriage is either falling apart, you don't have one, you haven't worked on it in a long time, and now you're like, I don't know this person. That affects your cravings. You got to work on those things. Something going on with the kids, right? You have an internal IBS or you've got eczema. People think eczema is normal. No, it's not. It's an inflammation in the body. You've got autoimmune stuff you're writing off. Like you've got stomach pain, you're bloating, right? So the imbalances, there's many of you're anxious. Anxious is an imbalance, okay? Because I was very anxious for many decades and I don't have it anymore. And so
Right.
all these things, these illnesses, these symptoms, these diseases that we've normalized, it's not normal. And when we fix those things and we put your body back in balance, you don't have the cravings anymore. That's a true story. And I love it because that's so much easier than saying no to sugar. I don't like to say no to sugar. I like to eat it.
You think sugar is obviously we know what it's doing to the body, but do you think it's a psychoactive drug that's affecting your anxiety and your depression and all that
Oh,
kind of
love it. 100% related because I
Yeah.
watch it with clients. I'm going to go there. Let's talk about the gut brain connection. Yeah. So sugar affects your microbiome, your gut microbiome, right? The billions of cells in there. They talk. I talk to mine. Hey, morning. How you doing? Right? I talk to mine. My cells talk to me. I know I don't have cancer, knock on wood, because my cells talk to me. They just like, hey, we're good. All right, good. We're good. And so a little TMI, but really cells they talk to each other. And I've just learned to talk to my body. Module 3 of the method, tuning in, right? We just talk. So why do I say that? Because not going to the bathroom, going too much, IBS, all these gut issues that, again, it's not a knock on doctors. You just get a pill for. Oh, that's normal. You don't go to the bathroom 3 days. If I have one more client that comes to me and says that the doctor normalized that, and then within 30 days, they're going regularly, they're like, go tell your doctor and have them sign up for the program. And so why do I say that? Because your gut and your brain, they're one tube and they talk to each other. And so I know I could be having a gut issue when I'm anxious. And I know, let me get back on my gut healing protocol, go back to a high quality probiotic, some glutamine, some enzymes. And if I'm having sugar, I dial that back. Like, Jen, what are you doing? I have come to Jesus meeting with myself. Because slipping up, I don't even believe in slipping up. I believe in real life. Things happen. The thing is, you don't feel bad. You don't beat yourself up, but you just come back as quick as possible. And preferably, you don't do it again anytime soon. And that to me is how most people operate. Now, there are a few. They need to go to zero. Never have it the same way with alcohol, right? Like you just can't have it. Fine. You have to know where you are on that spectrum.
And how do you find that? How do you discern that spectrum? Like each person, how do they discern, or how do you discern it? How do we get to where they are, who they are in that?
100%. So when I run someone through the protocol, right, where they're working on their gut health, they're getting the chemicals out. That's module 2. We're working on their sleep, working on some movement, all these pieces. We're working on their relationships. Like all these pieces matter together. And I'm not seeing the typical response that I see, which is, wow, Jen, cravings are way down. And they're following the protocol. And they will have one bite of something, and now they're binging for not a day, weeks. Weeks. I had literally one person in 20 years, one. And I said, you know what? This is the first I've ever seen this. I apologize. That is not who I attract. And I said, I believe you need to go to zero. And she didn't like me for that. I didn't program this. I got it. But as an expert in this field, I'm telling you, given the reaction and where you go, that you have a personality rewrite. Okay, people get a personality rewrite. And you almost appear bipolar to yourself where you're not even recognizing yourself. That is similar with alcohol, right? I've had clients that have cleared themselves, God bless, of alcohol, and now sugar is the issue.
Yep.
Amazing. They can actually not have alcohol and they can have sugar in moderation. But this one person had to get off alcohol and needed to be off sugar. I just said, whatever you have going on, it's got to be zero. So it's typically personality rewrite. There's loss of all control, right? And with my affirmations and even with my gut healing, because we do affirmations, right? We got to reprogram. Nothing's working. I'm like, listen, you got to go to zero. You got to go to zero, and we got to see how you do with zero. And then if there's a major emotional reaction to that, then I really know the addiction is there, right? Because addiction brings up reaction. No one has a reaction to
a major emotional reaction. This is part of my work. Part of the focus of our work is, you got to get detox. You got to get off it. My only job in life is to get people to 90 days. Like if I let them judge themselves and find where they are on the spectrum. But what happens about day 15 to most people, and I think you may attract different people, but I attract the folks that they've tried a million things. But what I'm getting at here is like, they say, Mike, I'm losing my mind. This is day 15, 20, somewhere in that neighborhood, because they have taken away a crutch and an emotional soothing method that they've had their whole life. And now they don't have it anymore. And they don't have new practices in place. They don't have walking, running, yoga, prayer, meditation. They don't have these things in place yet. And they're freaking weepy and losing their mind and angry at people, and they're not themselves. And they don't know. And they're starting to get flashbacks from old stuff because they were medicated, essentially.
It with the sugar.
So what happens when those things come up for you? What do you do? What do you tell them? How do you get out of it? How do you help them through it?
So I have a different method than you, which is right? This is why we're all here. What we do is it's not that it's a weaning, but it's a healing. And so the first thing is I'm not doing anything without figuring out your gut health. And so I'm getting it so you don't quite have that gut of it 24/7.
Yeah.
You're working on gut health. And then I say, look, so you're eating the gummy bears at 3:00. Wow, you're eating a whole bag. Okay, that's a lot. Yeah. But I say, how about we don't touch that right now? We don't touch that. And we work on, so you don't eat breakfast, so you eat yogurt for breakfast, or you eat nothing, or you're running around and you just have a salad for lunch and this much chicken or something. You're 53, and then you're starving literally at 3:00 from nutrients and from real hunger. I'm like, why don't we not touch that thing at 3 so that we don't give them that feeling? And because I don't like that feeling. And let's just start working on your food. Let's just start tweaking your food and your gut health and do nothing else for 30 days. And just let's see if the impulse is better. Okay. The impulse doesn't get better at some point. I have to send them over, but it works. But who I attract is not, it's been forever, dire straits. They're like, you know what? I'm super busy. My life is blessed in every other area. Typically, they're a mom and their working career, and they've got all these things on their plate, and their gut health is a mess. And they've stopped sleeping, and they've stopped learning how to eat. And I say, listen. So, like, you can even hear how gentle. Listen, let's just go to module 6. Let's work on your gut health. Because we have so much stress, my age and women, the sugar could never come out. And so I just address it that way over 30 days. And since it's right now at the time of it's month to month, stay or go, women go, I'm not going. I'm going to the bathroom again. Jen, I haven't slept in a decade. Now, I'm not saying it happens in 30 days. Sleep is a little trickier. Wow, Jen, I had a restful night's sleep. And then the excitement of how they're feeling starts to take over a little bit. Now, if they're still eating the gummy bears, I got to address, why are they still there at that level, right? And then I just got to go there. You just can't keep eating a bag of gummy bears for months. You're killing yourself. But I go there almost last. Does that make sense? I see what the body will do from following these, what I call few simple steps.
Yeah.
Getting yogurt out of breakfast. Yogurt! Oh, I said I wouldn't get angry today. I said it, please. It's just, please. Women eat a lot of yogurt. Please.
Yeah.
It's
a diet.
Please. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And so that's how I do it. That's how I do it. And like I said, there really was one case once. She wasn't following everything either. Okay. There was a lot of emotional stuff there that wasn't willing to look at. There's no judgment. But the emotional component, as you and I know,
is real.
Oh, directly connected to sugar addiction. Just leave that alone in the beginning. Let's just do some things to heal. Women's bodies are a mess in midlife, and it's not their fault. Okay. Marketing and society and doctors are not trained. It's traditional, like MDs, like they just don't know. We're a pill society here in the United States. And I am not anti-pill. I am let's make the pill the first thing you do. Let's give the body some time, 6 months, a year. Let's give it time. Body heals when we get out of the way. I've watched it. It just heals. It
does.
Body is a beautiful work of art. Okay, good.
No, I love it. I love that's the phrase I use, that the heal, that we're healing. Look, we know about the inflammation that it causes. On the inside, joints all heal. Like just goes away. I've seen so many remissions. It's amazing. Like type 2 diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis and thyroid and lupus and chronic fatigue. It just goes away. These are quote unquote diagnosed things, but they're like Jack LaLanne says, there's sugar. There's sugar. And you got to stop for a time, at least, to see. Anyway, tell me what else is going on. What are you excited about? It could be even personally, like what's going on in your life? Like, where do you?
Amen to that. I just want to add what Mike said, because you dropped it like a pot and then we moved on.
Yeah.
Lupus, rheumatoid arthritis. I've seen depression lift.
Depression, yeah.
Anxiety. I've seen rashes.
Yeah.
Rashes. And the creams and the steroids don't work. And it's, wait, you mean that thing that's in everything? That's a line item that gets overlooked. If we could find a way to pull it out 100% or dial it back, but I agree, getting it out, especially cane sugar. Can we just, and sucralose, which is, they make okay, which is not okay. It does so many bad things. Your life changes. See, when we can paint a picture like that, say, here's the picture, paint it, let's paint it. And then that's module 1, by the way. Yay. If you want, you do a vision board. Hey, what are the things I really love that I want to do that I'm not getting to because of where I am now? And then we just draw a line, you and us, me. And so on a really bad day when I just want to shove that stuff in, I teach pause so that you don't give up your goal so quick. You have the ability to pause. It's one of my techniques. so that you can get to where Mike and I promise, I have money back guarantees. I know you're similar. Like, I promise, but just use our support and you will get there. You see, when people don't think there's hope, and then when we don't get on and talk, they just think I'll never get there. I'm like, no, you'll get there. I don't know exactly how much time. The younger you are, the quicker. But people 30, 40, 50 pounds, late 50s, 60s, and doctors said never, and they're not on a diet. They've healed themselves of these ailments, and then the weight comes off. So I just wanted to reiterate and highlight, asterisk everything you just said, that these things that we have been, I'll say it again, brainwashed into believing need a drug. They don't always, and that there's hope. And here we are, and everyone else on this, that there's hope. And yeah. Okay, good. So with that said,
You brought up, and I tripped another wire here. So, like, we're talking about this brain health, where a lot of the science is headed now. And like I've had many people get off depression meds. Not me. I don't tell them to do. They
never.
go back to their original prescriber, tell them that if they are, and what happens is they're woozy. Like it's almost like they've taken an antidote to their sugar addiction. And now without the sugar, the pills are too much for them, and they get off them and their brain heals. Literally, sugar's shrinking their brain and it's healing. It's literally, in the MRIs, there's holes in their brain, and those heal over after the next one, after you've gone a year or so without it. So tell the folks, like, what you in that around. And this is all about their mental state. In essence, you're changing what they believe about their body. Obviously, they're a little bit outside of societal norms of sugar and every damn thing. They've got to be a little different. And also, that's another part of it, is like, how do they say no?
Love it.
How do they?
Let's go there too.
They can't say no. Like, they, they can't just tell the waiter, I don't want this, or tell their aunt they can't have the cookies or whatever. How do they?
Module 3, boundaries, speaking up for oneself.
Yeah.
I just want to add, so I used to have very bad anxiety. Just no one knew. I don't know, I was going to make it through the next day alive. I was like, like, it was, granted, I ate a lot of ice cream. I ate a lot of cookies. When I say a lot, half a gallon in 2 days, my friend. I am not shy about at least 14. They go right down. They're just rows of Oreos.
Yeah.
They go right down, especially with all the chemicals in them, right down. And I know now, and it's not like I don't eat it. I was eating, full transparency, too much sugar when I came back from New York. My dad is in the hospital. It's really hard to see my father paralyzed. My marriage is working itself out after all these years, and we've got some support for that. But you take all these securities away, and you want to go to the sugar. And so I'm a human too. And I was like, wow, I slipped in a little bit for my birthday, my brother's birthday in New York. Wait for it. My 2 cousins' birthdays, my daughter's birthday, a lot of birthdays. I also have sugar just around a special occasion. You have some, you're off it. Too many days. It was too much. It was too much stress, too much marital stuff, too much financial stuff, right? It became too of the too much. But why don't I share all that? Because A, I'm back off. I feel great. But B, because I noticed my anxiousness was coming on. I was like, oh, my brain is inflamed. And I would love it if people, when they start to feel anxious, that they actually, you know what a brain looks like? It looks like a walnut, right? They say that you crack open a walnut and it looks like a brain, which is why they say walnut is good for brain health, because it looks like your brain. That's for another day, right? Tomatoes, you open them up, looks like your heart. Okay. So going back to walnut, crack it open, you look at it, and I want you to know, when I feel anxious, I actually visualize like a walnut cracked open, and I go, oh, look what you did, Jen. Oh, you've inflamed your brain. Oh, poor thing. I don't talk that way. But I know that my gut is inflamed from all the sugar. Oh, you poor thing. That's how I talk to myself. Poor thing. I never get upset. Poor thing. Because if you get upset with yourself, you ain't ever getting off. So my thing is, I lean into compassion and I go, oh, Jen, too much. What happened? And I can get it out like that. It's one of my techniques. Do you hear me? Anger, it ain't coming out. Why? Because sugar helps relax you when you're pissed off. And so I don't allow the anger. I go, oh, Jen, what happened these last 3 weeks? So anyway, back to the brain. Anxiety, I see the brain inflamed and I go, get off the sugar, Jen, fix your gut. And I go back on my protocol. I'm on my really good probiotic, back on some glutamine enzymes. I take all my things when I need them, although lately all the time. Okay. So that is very important. The thing I want to talk about, so important, the other piece of it is what you said about how do you say no? Hey, listen, haters are going to hate. Misery loves company.
Right.
The people that love you, who are healthy themselves, I will fist bump you at a party. And I've learned that fitting out is the only way to not look like everybody else in society. And I am not knocking anyone. Clearly, I fit out. You saw at the beginning, I fit out. And so it's, oh, no, thank you. That really hurts my stomach. And then people just shut up. Or when they love to give me wine, oh, wine is the jam with women in midlife. I can drink in their wine. I would rather, with all due respect, have a gun to my head than drink wine. I don't drink really at all. I just don't. I never had a problem. I just, doesn't make me feel good. Point is, I go, oh, if I drink wine, I wake up with anxiety. You can hear every wine glass drop at a party. When Jenn Edden just says, oh, no, thank you. I'll just have some seltzer with lemon or lime. That gives me anxiety. I just say it like, oh, if I eat that, oh, no, thank you, Auntie. Oh, thank you for that pasta because I'm Italian, right? Clearly. No, oh, thank you anyway. I wake up, my hands hurt in the morning. And so I just make it about my issues. And then everyone just shuts up. So it's not, well, I'm on a diet. Oh, I can't have that. Because the truth is, I can have the wine. You can have the sugar. Anyone can have anything.
Yeah, but you're Jenn Edden. That's 20 years in. I cannot imagine new people saying that. Like they're just not going to go there.
I warm them up to it.
Okay.
It's okay not to yes everybody to the death. It's
Right.
module 3 of the method. You cannot yes people to death anymore. It's taking you out. It's causing your addiction. It's making
That I
80 pounds on you. It's yes, sure, I don't want to cause a fuss. I said, how is not causing a fuss, which isn't a fuss anyway, affecting your health?
Yeah.
Oh, you're very sick. How about we make a fuss? A little one.
Right.
I understand. It's a slow process. I warm women up to it by telling them I do it.
Okay. I guess.
That makes sense.
No, that makes sense because my folks are just like, I can't tell my aunt that I can't eat her cookies or whatever. It's stupid.
No, you can eat it. But I really, they hurt me. They
Right.
hurt my hands but I understand. I do. It's a slow process.
Right.
Maybe have it and then sit with how you feel the next day. And was it better to yes your aunt that you love, but feel like garbage the next day? Or maybe we can just rethink that because you can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's such a fun thing to say here. You can't have both. You can't keep doing what you were doing and expect different results. You've got, what is your commitment? Do you actually want to get better? Or is this just something else that you want to say you did that didn't work? I prefer this is the last thing you've ever done. So we have to tweak, right? We got to tweak. And so love them out, Mike.
You got to love them.
Well, they can do it because you're
It's all about
mad anyway.
It's all about meeting people who are trying to do the same thing and loving each other because you ain't going to find this support in your family. You're not going to find this support in your friend group or your work group. They're going to think you're nuts. You have to find other tribes, groups of people who are doing this. So
Thank you. And
so we always have these wonderful talks when you come over and we walk on the beach and
so great.
I think people have this desire. I found this anyway. That's why I get the story first. You know, that they like to be flies on the wall to different conversations. So that's why I started that story or that question. What's going on with Jenn? What personally could be or professionally, like how are you? Let's have some of our
Okay.
brainstorm or emotional talks like with the folks because
That is wonderful.
people that are like people struggle even with decades of sugar freedom or whatever, whether they're abstinent or they do a little or whatever.
100%. This is
They're
such a great question.
related. So tell us about yours.
Okay, so let's do this. So first of all, I want to acknowledge that I've been on a bazillion podcasts, and that's just what a great question. Really, so open-ended and yet perfect. And so what I wanted to add that I'll say it now as part of where I'll go real quick is personal growth. Memorize this, everyone listening. Personal growth is mandatory to have addiction, any addiction, as well as sugar addiction, under your control for the rest of your life. Personal growth. And so what Mike is asking right now is pretty much what's going on. It's been a, excuse my language, shitstorm for years. I've managed to keep, you saw my.
I know that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, Mike knows. Business does things. It does. People change. We change. Economy changes, right? My marriage, I'll say it because I'm not shy. There isn't one woman that comes in to meet me, mid to late 50s, 60s, divorced once, no judgment, divorced twice, still together, but no marriage, no sex, no nothing. I'm like, well, what are we doing about that? Or you're with your second partner or your first partner or you're single. What are you doing about that? And so personal growth is part of this. So for me, I noticed the sugar was slipping in. And I'm transparent. My people love this about me. I'm like, why are you wanting this after dinner, Jen, and then eating it? See, it's one thing to want it. I want it, but I don't eat it. Or I don't want it because I'm imbalanced. But I wanted it and I was eating it. And I was like, all right, fine. What's a day? I have a thing. 3 days. One, I was eating it. One, Jen, has it been 2 weeks? Now, not every single day, but when I say I don't eat it, I look this way because I don't eat chips. I eat food, all organic, and it's all I eat pretty much. And then, yeah, I love my bonza pizzas. It's flour, chickpea flour. I'll do that once a week, but I'm just not eating sugar. It's not my jam. I don't eat processed food. My point is, wanted it, had it, wanted it more. What is going on? And I realized my marriage needed more of something. I just can't ignore that. We're seeing someone now, really helpful. Joe's going through stuff. I am. That was number one. So great. We're doing that. So interesting when you're 25, now I'm 50. You cannot have the same marriage or the same relationship after 25 years with the same person. You can't because you're both different people. And so navigating that and choosing to still stay married is not for the faint of heart while not eating sugar. And so why do I say that? Because part of my personal growth is also, I want to run a marathon. So I didn't tell Mike, but I did a Spartan last year, a beast, 13.1 miles. I didn't run the whole thing, but I ran a mile or two, but like 25 obstacles. And so I find for me, keeping addiction under wraps, I challenge my body. And it looks nice, although it's got its stuff like everyone does. It looks nice because I always challenge. And I'm like, I always wanted to run a marathon. I wonder if I could put energy into that and not into getting after dinner being like I want sugar. So I'm needing like more meaning in my life. Does that make sense? And so now I'm thinking of doing, which Mike didn't know about. I am. And my kids are getting older. They're 12, they're 15. My son is going to be 17. And they just require different things. I'm like, how can I spend more time with them? What could I do? Versus, I love what I do the way Mike does. Like, this is my life. I wake up in the middle of the night, it's a new ad, or God, I'll write that newsletter tomorrow. I'm known for this. Now I'm like, I can help people and it just not be everything because I love my family. And so like my daughter wants to take road trips with me. So we're taking a road trip to the Gorge next August. She's saving with me so we can see Dave Matthews. And like, we're doing things. We're huge Dave Matthews Band fans. And so I'm working on more time with kids, figuring out relationship stuff, staying married, making that work. And I think, I don't know, I did it first hearing it. Now the whole world's hearing it. I think Jenn Edden is going to like train. I can do it. I don't even really like to run, but I'm requiring some personal growth because I'm craving sugar and that's not my jam to crave it. And so I believe God, for those who believe in the universe, is calling me up. And when you get excited about something, ready for this, I teach this. You don't want the sugar, joy and enough fun in your life. And you're going to the sugar for the hit. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring the joy in. It's not with the marriage right now. I'm bringing the joy in with the marathon thing. That'll be crazy. I have to see. And I love my kids. They're my joy. And
Your dopamine junkie. Your dopamine junkiness. No, look.
In non-sugar ways. In non-sugar
ways. I think this is a perfect place to end. Look, I'm going to steal that phrase. Personal growth is mandatory. Personal growth is mandatory. One of the things that I've found is that After people are off it, in order to stay on it, they have to be growing. They have to, you did it, challenge them. I don't care if it's their health, their relationship, their finances, their kids, they have to challenge themselves because to date, they have used sugar to get an evolutionary hit, a dopamine hit, the thing that created sex and food, chasing sex and food to procreate the species has been co-opted, hijacked, so you can sit on the couch and get the same feeling that it would take our ancestors years to get the food and the whole thing. So here's, if you're not growing in some way, shape, or form, you're not getting there. So
Right.
thanks for saying that. So it's true. I believe that. So
It's how
anyway, tell the folks where they can find you online. Just where the book is, the name of the book. If you got a copy, hold it up or whatever.
Oh, I love it. I don't. Oh, okay, I'll get a copy. Hi, Matt. Because Mike and I didn't plan this. Here I am, woman unleashed. Listen, the way the method is simple, fun, and easy, honestly, you can see on my screen. I'm Jenn Edden everywhere. I'm Jenn Edden on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I've got a really cool YouTube channel. It's little 2-minute things. You can find me that way. If you want to message me through my website, you can find me there as well. I don't know if we've got a gift this year, but I'll come up with potentially, I've never done it. I don't think a free download of my book. It's a PDF version. So if we're doing it, let's hit me up on that. You can get a PDF if you don't want to get it on Amazon, Woman Unleashed. Yeah, that's how you find me. There's a couple of spots open for our Freedom Club. It's what I was talking about, this monthly membership. It's ridiculously affordable. I just want to end with do something.
Do something. That's right.
I'm one of our
Yes,
speakers.
even if it's wrong, do something.
Do a lot of wrongs eventually make a right, Thomas Edison. And you and I have made millions of mistakes, do a lot of wrong things, but please do something from hearing us today, because something is what makes change. It does.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now.
I hope you're enjoying the summit. Please always know that you can grab a copy of the speaker's package. You can review it anytime you like and have a library to review on your time. At your leisure, enjoy the next speaker.